Hey guys, and welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be doing a first impression of some brand new CoverGirl products. The CoverGirl Outlast All Day Soft Touch Concealer and the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Matte Finishing Powder. So I picked these two up in a display with their, what I thought was a brand new foundation. It's their 3-in-1 foundation, but after looking into it online, it's just new packaging of their existing foundation. So this is their CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1 foundation. This is the old packaging. I already have this one, and all they did was repackage it. It's now like red right here. It looks similar to this packaging, but it's not a new formula. So I didn't pick that up because I already own this one. So you may be able to tell that I've got some pretty dark circles under my eyes right now. That's because I have my foundation on, brows, eye makeup, and some lipstick, but no additional face makeup other than that. And that's because I'm going to be testing this concealer out on camera for you guys, and then also setting it with this powder and setting my foundation with this powder. And then I'm going to wear it throughout the day, check in with you guys, and let you guys know what I think. So let's go ahead and start with the concealer. I'm going to read you guys the claims. It says Outlast All Day Concealer, and by the way, I got mine in the shade 820, which is light pale. So this was the second one. There was one even lighter than this one, so we'll see how light this is. But the claims are Outlast All Day Concealer, a concealer with a soft touch tip for gentle application and a lasting formula that gives you a smooth matte finish that lasts all day. Instantly erases the appearance of dark circles and blemishes, oil-free and won't clog pores, and then the soft touch applicator helps erase the appearance of dark circles. So I am in need of that right now, badly. So that all sounds really great. And by the way, I'm looking at my Walgreens receipt right now. This concealer was $11.99, as so is this powder. My Walgreens right now is running a buy one, get one 50% off. So I got this for $11.99 and this for $5.99. But if you don't get a discount, they're pretty pricey. So I'm gonna keep that in mind as I'm applying these. So again, let's go ahead and start with the concealer. I'm gonna open it. So the packaging on this reminds me of the Milani one I was just talking about in my haul video. It's got kind of a squeeze tube with a gentle kind of foamy applicator up here. So let's go ahead and put this underneath the eyes. So I'm just squeezing it. Oh, there it comes. It is really pretty soft. This is this kind of a strange color. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's a little bit orangey. This shade is not very light, but I'm gonna see how it looks when I blend it out. I'm gonna blend it out on this side using this Real Techniques mini eraser sponge, and then I'm gonna use my finger on the other side. It blended out nicely. It's not a full coverage foundation. I can still see some blueness right here. And I really do not like the color of this light shade. It looks kind of orangey to me, and it definitely didn't brighten my under eye. It's almost the same color as my foundation, if not a little bit darker. And I would say that I'm kind of a light to medium skin tone. So for people that are actually light skin tones, I would recommend definitely getting the shade lighter than this one, because this is a pretty dark, light concealer. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye as well using my finger. Okay, so that is this side done using my finger, this side with the sponge. I feel like just barely the side where I use my finger has a little bit more coverage, but both are pretty light to medium coverage. But it feels really nice. It feels lightweight. It's definitely drying matte, which is good for me and my oily skin, but it doesn't look drying underneath my eyes. It's not making them look patchy or settling into any of my fine lines, at least right now. Okay, so now that that's on and my foundation was already on, we need to set it with a powder. So let's read the claims for this powder, which is the one I'm going to be using today. It's the Outlast All Day Matte Finishing Powder. Lightweight, silky smooth powder formula that gives a perfectly matte finish. Helps control shine hour after hour. Matte shine control. Oil-free and won't clog pores. That all sounds awesome. And I got this in the shade Fair to Light, which is, I think this was the lightest shade you could get. So it's shade 810. Let's see if this is actually a light shade. Okay, so this packaging is straight up weird. The mirror they put in here is tiny. It's just like this tiny little area. It's not the whole compact like it usually would be. And I can see like one eyeball at a time. Anyway, let's get past the packaging and try the actual product. So I'm gonna be applying with my favorite brush for setting my under eyes, and it is the e.l.f. blush brush. So I'm just gonna dip it in here and I'll go ahead and apply. It's definitely very mattifying. You can see on this side where I've already applied it, it's smooth and matte, and then on this side where I haven't, it's a little bit less airbrushed looking. I'm gonna go ahead and apply on the other places on my face that I wanna set. Okay, so far I am digging this powder. I think it's doing a really good job of mattifying my face without looking cakey or too powdery, but I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just applied some blush and bronzer to bring some life back into my face. I am definitely into the powder. I think it's done a really good job. We'll see how it lasts throughout the day. I'm still a little bit thrown off by the shade of the concealer. I usually like my under eyes to be a little bit brighter than they are right now, but it's not settling into my fine lines and it's looking nice and matte without being cakey. So I'm gonna be wearing both of these products throughout the day today, and I will check back in with you later and let you know how they held up. Hey guys, so I am back. It's been about 7 hours and I wanted to go ahead and give you an update on how everything is holding up. So starting with the concealer, underneath my eyes still has not creased at all. It looks matte and flawless and not dry. I'm really impressed with how well it's held up. I still feel like the color is off, at least for me. But as far as the formula, it's definitely lasted throughout the day. So as far as the powder goes, I am getting a little bit oily in my T-zone, on my forehead, the usual suspects, nothing too surprising there. I am pretty matte everywhere else though, which is definitely a good sign. Okay, so I want to give you guys my final thoughts starting with this concealer. The applicator is nice, it's pretty gentle, so no complaints there. I feel like this blended out really well, both with the sponge and with my finger. It's definitely a medium tops coverage. It's not a full coverage concealer, so it would be good for like every day for underneath the eyes. It's mattifying without being drying, and it's very long lasting. It didn't settle into any of my fine lines. I am really impressed by that. The downside to this concealer is the color. I feel like if you're gonna call something light, it should actually be a light color. I'm gonna show you guys an up close comparison of the second shade in the Milani range and the second shade in this range. You can see that the CoverGirl one is a lot more of an orangey undertone. It's not one of those salmon brightening colors. It really does look orange on the face. So I would go for the shade Pale rather than the shade Light if I were to repurchase. The only other complaint that I have is the price tag at $11.99. I think it needs to blow my mind for me to highly recommend it to you guys. There are a lot of great drugstore concealers out there for less money, including this Milani one, which I actually really like at $8.99. So I do think that the $11.99 price tag is a little bit steep. Okay, so moving on to the powder. I was a big fan of this powder. I think it did a good job of giving me that airbrush effect, making me matte but not looking powdery, and that's kind of what I look for in a powder. This is something that I would throw in my purse to touch up throughout the day. I think the formula is really nice, but again, the $11.99 price tag is a little bit high, especially when you have contenders like the Rimmel Stay Matte, which is a lot less. But if you can find like a buy one get one 50% off or a buy one get one free, I think these might be worth a shot. Powder is really nice. I wouldn't pay $11.99 for it, wait for it to go on sale. And then this concealer, stay away from the shade Light, maybe give the shade Pale a try. And again, I would look for this on sale. I don't think it's worth the $11.99 price tag with all of the other cheaper alternatives that the drugstore does offer. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
So I'm going to be applying with my,